It was December 27th of 2020. A new Geometry Dash creator would reveal their new project titled Nyx on their personal YouTube channel. It took them only a week to finish the level, and it was a fairly good start to their creative and content journey. However, nobody could have predicted the impact that this creator would have on everyone just 3 years later, as he rapidly became one of Geometry Dash's most iconic and talented creators. He would leave everyone in the GD community and even some of the biggest YouTubers stunned on what he was capable of making. In this video, we will be looking into the history of one of Geometry Dash's best creators, Blee. I hope you all enjoy. While Blee started his YouTube channel almost 4 years ago, he actually made his GD account roughly 3 or 4 years prior, as one of the earliest indications of his activity was the release of his first public level, Magic Travel, which was surprisingly a pretty good first level, and much better than anything I could ever make. Blee had uploaded levels prior to Magic Travel, however, he had deleted them a couple of years ago. But Magic Travel was his first serious project that he decided to keep public, and after it he would release Ghost Valley, and then took a break from building for a while, until the summer of 2020, where he would return to build again, and aimed to make more improvements along the way, as his next 2 levels would be considered rate-worthy nowadays, but didn't get the attention for Blee to have been rewarded for his work. But luckily, on October 29th of 2020, he had obtained his first featured level, Counting Stars, which is an amazing achievement for most new creators. From this moment and before, Blee's projects had been improving in quality, and he was not going to stop from there, as when he did obtain his first featured level, Blee wanted to prioritize making more projects with even more passion put into it. Except for the fact that his next level was titled Trash Level, which was not trash by any means, but he had a little fun with the title. This level was a very passionate project for Blee, but it didn't get any attraction during the first week of its release, and that was until a YouTuber named Woolsey played it as a sort of level request, and it was sent to RopTop to have the possibility of it getting rated. And once again, Trash Level received a featured rating, which resulted in Blee obtaining his second featured level. But it is from this moment on that Blee would slowly but surely let his name be known. After the release of Blee's Trash Level, he was becoming more and more active in the Geometry Dash community, as he was uploading more levels and even started a YouTube channel dedicated to his artwork. Which brings us back to what I mentioned in the beginning, regarding his first ever YouTube video being a showcase on a new project titled Nyx, which was a 2.5-minute Christmas themed level, and it was beautifully structured. What the Geometry Dash community found impressive was that time and time again, Blee would note on previous and even future projects that he can create these amazing levels in a relatively short amount of time, unlike most players building at their own pace, because Nyx took Blee just a week to complete, and this was one of the many talents that made him stand out amongst other creators, but we will mention the other talents later. After Nyx, Blee would release another level titled Delicious. The only issue, however, was that Delicious did not get rated due to a lack of attention, which resulted in Blee stating that he didn't think Delicious should have been rated. Fortunately though, it was featured roughly 5 months after the level's release. From where he was at this point, compared to how he started, he had improved pretty much in every single way. But his very next project would start a recurring cycle of proving that Blee was making waves on his work, and an impact on many players. So you might be wondering why I called his next project a recurring cycle of some sorts. Well, it's not about his next level being some sort of earth-shattering creation, but it's the fact that from this moment on, all of his later projects would exceed the featured rating by becoming epic or above. Because right after Delicious, Blee started to work on every aspect of what he believed he could improve on, which later resulted in him receiving his first epic rating on the level Communication, which really was an amazing level. Thousands of players were appreciating the work Blee has put into it, and it is personally one of my favorite levels because I have a very slight addiction to space-themed levels and visuals. The gameplay itself was very fun compared to his earlier projects, and as what I'm Dumb Macdoll says, what a masterpiece. Wait, that's his second try. Anyways, the level heavily stood out to many players, but the rest of 2021 would be an incredibly uplifting experience for Blee, as during the next few months till September, he had uploaded 4 more levels that would end up getting a huge amount of attention. Levels such as Fall Apart and Crying Clouds would be showcased by massive influencers, which assisted Blee so much that it actually got him in one of the best positions that any Geometry Dash creator would want to be acknowledged or even featured, as he was officially nominated to be in one of the creator categories in the 2021 GD Awards, in which he was nominated in the Best Art Creator category. Now, just as a little side note, Blee had not even reached 1,000 subscribers at this point. More specifically, he only had 750 subscribers, making him criminally underrated, even after the recognition from the GD 2021 Awards nominees video. And while Blee had an astounding 19.6% of all voters in the Best Art Creator category, he unfortunately did not win the title, which he was completely fine with, and was honored to be in such a big event. But little did Blee know at the time that his dreams were about to become true during 2022. Between January to May, Blee had been silently working on a few levels that would revolutionize his publicity as a humble and fantastic creator. After months of little to no activity on the public domain, Blee would release a showcased preview on one of his most recognizable levels, but we will talk about that in a little bit, since it was only about 50% finished. During the next couple months, he was branching out by doing his part on a few collabs, experimenting with other themes to get an idea on how to develop his style. At the same time, he would upload 4 more videos, with 3 of them being his own showcases on some big Extreme Demon collabs. But the one video that stood out the most amongst the 4 others was a new level he had released, titled Fuel, which was an amazing recreation of a racing game, but in Geometry Dash. And once again, it had many players talking about it, playing it, and even making videos showcasing it, which assisted Blee to finally reach his goal of achieving 1,000 subscribers on July 23rd of 2022. And a month after achieving that milestone, Blee would release his greatest project to date, Absolute Garbage. Now this would be one big stepping stone on how many eyes would turn towards himself. To this being a sequel to Trash Level, it would become Blee's most successful and ambitious project for the rest of 2022, with its famous introduction screen, its unique and fun gameplay, and the satisfying transitions throughout it. Absolute Garbage was a one-of-a-kind level, and millions of players loved everything about it. Now, I mentioned before on how Blee has many talents, one of which is how fast he can build, and another on his expertise in optimizing levels. Time and time again, Blee has optimized many of his projects so that most outdated and low-performing devices can withstand running his levels. Examples such as Crying Clouds with under 40,000 objects, Fuel with under 34,000 objects, and Absolute Garbage, also under 40,000 objects. And what's crazy is that it gets more impressive later on. For now, we have mentioned Blee's expertise in optimizing, his ambitious projects, collab affiliations, and his 1,000 subscriber milestone. And while I haven't fully discussed his 2022 experience, we are now about to find out why that year was a dream come true for Blee. For the next few months, Blee was busy building his part on a plethora of collaborations, but at the same time, he was working on a few animations and assets for a potential future use. This was more of a thing he was doing over the course of a year, but it's relevant to an extent that his next major project was a combined collection of these animations that just so happened to fit well together. This enchanting combination helped develop an amazing level titled Autopilot, which was an autospace themed level that is a third and first-person perspective of you traveling through space while destroying planets and other artificial satellites. Now, I just want to start off by saying that this level contains less than 19,000 objects. That level of optimization is just incredible. I mentioned earlier on how it gets more impressive later on, and it still remains that way at this point. This would be Blee's last uploaded video for the rest of 2022. A couple weeks later, the Geometry Dash 2022 Awards nominees video was premiering. As Blee would watch alongside millions of GD players, he would discover the amazing news that he had been nominated in 4 separate categories for that year, and Blee was in disbelief. He would publicly state that he was hoping to at least win 1 category that year. But to him, it was always more than that. Blee's humbling nature cared more about the opportunity to be acknowledged than to expect to win something out of everything he had made. And with this thrill of excitement rushing for Blee, he would wait the next couple weeks to see the results. And as the awards video was premiering, millions of viewers would find out that Blee had won a category. But it wasn't just 1, or even 2, but 3 different categories. That's right, Blee won 3 out of 4 categories that he was nominated in. You can imagine just how ecstatic Blee was when he discovered that his dream had come true. He would go on to post his reaction on a YouTube community post, saying, "I'm still shaking. I have no idea how I got so many votes, and I doubt I deserve them at all. But this is really a GD dream come true." Blee had shown great support to the other nominees as well, and I think it's just very wholesome to see good sportsmanship coming from a person like himself. And as 2022 was coming to a close, he would reach 5,000 subscribers during New Year's, but 2023 would become the most important and biggest year for Blee, as one level in particular changed the course of Blee's creator career and his online status forever. What really kicked off Blee's GD career wasn't something that happened out of nowhere. It was more of a steady and ambitious process to release something truly incredible. But the true incline of his reputation would occur during the middle of 2023, and before then he would continue to work on other collabs such as Ascension to Heaven, Cytokinesis, and Prism Peak. Additionally, he would preview a specific level that would eventually change the course of Blee's image. On February 11th of 2023, Blee would release the first preview of arguably his greatest project yet, Change of Scene. The first preview of this level was around 1/7 of the finished product, but it gave us a first look into what Blee was planning on making, which was a theatrical themed level that had 2 different versions of it, but I'll explain that a little later. Thousands of players were amazed about what they saw, and many of Blee's fans were looking forward to the next preview. I should also mention that this level was aimed to be an entry for the GD Discord Gauntlet contest, which was hosted by Raptop and Viperin. And with that in mind, the second preview to Change of Scene would release on March 12th of 2023. The video would show a snippet to the decorated extension of the first preview, which I'm not even joking. A majority of the comments used the word masterpiece, and that opinion was not an overstatement. It was beautifully structured, and players couldn't wait to see the final product of the level. However, the deadline was slowly closing in, and as time was ticking for Blee to finish for the Discord Gauntlet contest, he would finally finish on May 3rd of 2023. And this was the moment where Blee would shock everyone. Change of Scene would take the Geometry Dash community by storm. Not only the community itself, but even YouTube as a whole. Many showcases of the level garnered millions of views, and even got the attention of YouTuber/streamer Ludwig. Change of Scene is truly an incredible level, but what exactly made it incredible and unique? And how did this surge of attention benefit Blee? Well, let's discuss that. As I mentioned before, Change of Scene is a theatrical themed level, but it's different to the other levels with the same idea, as it contains two different modes that completely alter the decoration atmosphere, with one being a sort of behind-the-scenes view of what old and modern shows looked like, and the other with a more complete and realistic look with the same idea, with both versions having the same 4 different timelines of cinema, with the same 2 different acts on each timeline. Not only that, but the optimization of this level is unbelievable, with both pathways combined having less than 70,000 objects. Like, how? It's just really hard to grasp how insanely talented Blee is, and how he even built a level like Change of Scene. Such creativity of a level has no surprise of it going absolutely viral, as to this day, it has remained Blee's most viewed video, with the showcase having 4.1 million views on YouTube, and is by far his most famous level, with it nearly having 7.5 million downloads. It's unsurprising that Blee's popularity would certainly spike up, as not long after the showcase of Change of Scene, he would shortly achieve 10,000 subscribers. It was truly a surreal experience for Blee, and during the next few months, he would focus on building his part on other collaborations. Fast forward to August 13th of 2023, when Geometry Dash was about to celebrate its 10-year anniversary. The developer, RobTop, was premiering a dedicated video for the GD community, and prior to its anniversary, RobTop had put out a tweet asking players to vote to potentially highlight their favorite creators and experiences over the years. Nobody would have known who and what made the cut, since it could have been anyone or anything. So what exactly does this have to do with Blee? Well, this event took place 3 months after the release of Change of Scene, and with Blee rising as a majorly dedicated and brilliant creator, players were definitely latched on to recognize Blee's capabilities. So as players casted their votes, millions of them tuned to the results 10 days later. And as it turns out, Blee had won 2 major categories, winning the most favorite level category and the most favorite creator category. This was massive for Blee, as he would go on to publicly state that he was speechless to win something of this magnitude, but also believed that he didn't deserve it. Blee believed he only won due to recency bias, and the fact that Change of Scene released soon enough to not need a reminder of its existence definitely helped him. This makes sense considering there are many creators that changed Geometry Dash as a whole, but also the fact that recency bias shouldn't have correlated with a vote dedicated to the game's entire history. But regardless, many players supported Blee's statement and views, which once again showed just how humble Blee was as a person. And with Blee having 2 awards around his belt, we are now about to find out just how impactful he had become over the last year. As Blee became a household name in the Geometry Dash community, his activity declined due to him learning and experimenting with the new 2.2 update mechanics, but his shortage of activity would serve him and everyone else greatly later on. For now, he had started off the new year with a bang by winning 2 categories in the 2023 GD Awards, the Best Easy Demon, and most importantly, the Best Creator category. Having this title was Blee's #1 goal since he started passionately building, and with him finally achieving this goal, he was no longer a goal setter, but a goal initiator to the entire community. All of his major boosts of acknowledgement had paid off to get to where he was, and at this point, Blee could make anything he wanted to, and not worry about any negative public perception. And with that in mind, throughout December of 2023 to May of this year, Blee temporarily made a switch in his YouTube content, but the videos were very unique to say the least. Examples such as recreating his first public level, Magic Travel, 5 years later, and another being his remastered version of The Cursed Thorn, but as a final boss. These videos garnered him hundreds of thousands of views, which is just so amazing to see. However, there's still one more topic left to discuss. The next few months consisted of little to no activity on Blee's YouTube page, but he was secretly cooking something that would eventually blow the GD community out of the water. You see, a few months ago, YouTuber Wabu announced an event regarding creators to recreate the level Stereo Madness, and the player with the best recreation would receive a grand prize of $1,000. This competition would interest Blee, and he would become a participant to hopefully achieve the top spot and the grand prize. And when it was time for the judges to review the submissions, Wabu, Galvatron, and King Samalot would be the first few to react to Blee's entry. And the moment they pressed play came one of the biggest surprises in Geometry Dash history.
No.
What? He broke out of the... How is that even possible, bro? Wait, what? Wait, he's copying a different level. Wait, hold up. Wait, what is... I'm in the trees. What is going on?
This submission dwarfed the rest of the others by just how unexpected and perfect it was. The fact he had the talent to make 3D effects made this level under 32,000 objects and finished it in less than a month is absolutely unreal. With respect to the other creators who participated having great submissions, Blee was just on a completely different level. And not long after Wabu's video was published, Blee's entry, Rage Quit, was uploaded to the GD servers, and was showcased on his channel immediately after. This gave him another massive surge of attention, as he would gain 8,000 subscribers within a month after publishing his new masterpiece. He also became the first creator in GD history to obtain a non-demon mythic rated level. It's no doubt that Blee had fulfilled his dream of becoming Geometry Dash's best creator, and after learning the 2.2 mechanics, he had spent the last year working on what is his first platformer project, and undoubtedly his biggest project to date. So we're all in for a big surprise in the near future. For now, I'm sure we can all say, huge congratulations to Blee, and I'm happy to see how far he has come to provide some of the best levels in Geometry Dash history. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and thank you to the channel members and for you staying till the end. I'm very grateful to be in this position, and it's really a dream come true. Thank you all for watching, and Rhombicosa dodecahedron.